And what we're going to look at today is what's actually valuable there. What's a valid critique, what's an invalid critique, how to form a valid critique. Yes, let's get us all on the same page, and let's define what a critique is. So, critique, a democratic judgment over the suitability of a subject for the intended purposes. There's two really important things you want to notice here. The absence of the word opinion. Opinions are important, but they don't factor in quite the same way when you're critiquing something. Because, the other point, what's the purpose? Everything that you design has some sort of intended purpose. You're trying to communicate a message. Whether you're selling something or trying to get people to act upon something or inform, there's a purpose behind the design. And opinion doesn't factor into that really at all. You're really just trying to judge how accurate and how well it's achieving that purpose.
You know, the aesthetics and the function of something, if we're going to be talking about that, it's the purpose is the focus.
So, we're breaking this down into 3 bite-sized chunks, before, during, and after the critique. Very easy to follow. And in each of these, we're going to talk about the stuff that you need to do to prepare for each of these sections. So, before the critique, at this point, you've really, let's just assume that you've gone through all of the different phases before the design, and actually end the design. So you've done all of your interviews with stakeholders, you've done your information architecture, you've done all of your discovery, hopefully you have content at this point. You're really looking to gather up all these materials and really review them. Because you've been using all of this stuff for so long that it's sort of like second nature, and you understand the information architecture and you understand all the planning that you've done. But in order to accurately present the designs that you created to the client, you need to sort of get all this back in your head again. You need to be able to reiterate the purpose, basically, of why things look the way that they do and what was informing them, what informs that design.
Okay, so once you've done all your prep work and your before the critique stuff and figured out what you need to do before you get in there, then you're in there. So this is the during the critique portion of the program, which we introduced earlier. So to begin with, you want to do the setup. You want to frame the discussion for everybody in the room so that everybody's on the same page and understands how things are going to work. So to begin with, you want to recap the project to date and talk about basically where it's been, where it currently is, and where it's going. So you just want to contextualize the day's discussion within the scope of the whole project. You want to manage expectations. You want to make sure everybody understands what you expect from the day. And ordinarily for me, this is a matter of just explaining that, since this is an initial design that we're going to be showing today, it's broad strokes. It's, some pieces might be missing. It might be actually way off visually. There could be all kinds of problems. But the point here is to figure out both what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. So you want to make sure that people aren't really freaked out when they see something that they might not have expected. Okay, cool. Then you want to outline the design strategy. And so we want the client to understand that these are 3 designs that were not done in a vacuum. There's a specific strategy that went into how all 3 of them relate to each other. Next, we want to establish the goal. And in this case, it's basically, we've got these 3 concepts. We want to decide on one that we're going to move forward with.
It's really important to not take this to a personal level. By this point, you're really sort of entrenched in what the design is. You've been working on it for weeks and weeks, and you sort of feel as though it's part of you, And when you present it to someone and they start criticizing little pieces of it, you might want to take it personally. You feel like maybe they're criticizing you. So when the client says, this shouldn't be blue, I think this needs to be yellow. And your first response might be something like Jeffrey Zublin said the other day, like, oh, where did you go to art school? Which in the case of Micah probably isn't going to work out anyway. But it's important to keep it about the work, keep it professional, and understand that this isn't you that they're criticizing, this is the work that they want to talk about. Hopefully that's what they want to talk about. And by the same token, you shouldn't be making it personal about them and about the views that they have. Keep it focused about the work, keep it professional.